Hello, and welcome to today's business news and entrepreneur headlines. Today we are filming from heaven, apparently, and we have some news coming from Facebook or Meta about how their algorithm is going to change to compete with TikTok. Uh, and I'm going to show you another article about some hacks that are happening right now. The reports of hacks have gone up like 59% from last year. So there is a lot more hacking going on because of the political tensions between countries and the inability of the authorities to do anything about it. So increased hacking. Again, Facebook is trying to be like TikTok. And also we're going to talk about Etsy and their earnings, because while most companies reported losses or a recession in their gains, Etsy actually is doing pretty well, continues to do pretty well. So let's get started with the first article that is going to talk about, let's see, I think I prefer this one actually. So it says, if you already have strong feelings about your Instagram feed increasingly showing reels from accounts that you don't follow, just wait until next year. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg said the company will more than double the amount of content from recommended accounts people see while using Instagram and Facebook by the end of 2023. He said that such recommendations currently account for roughly 15% of the content and fit on Facebook, and that the percentage is already higher on Instagram. The push, while Zuckerberg calls building the discovery engine, is a radical departure from Facebook and Instagram's historical focus on showing posts from users' social graph or list of friends. The shift, intended to compete with TikTok's heavy use of AI to serve up videos regardless of where they come from, which is, I think, is something great that TikTok does, that it actually recommends your content, even if you're just starting. It gets pushed with a lot of impressions, so many impressions. So the approach has quickly made TikTok one of the most used apps in the world and spawned a whole new creator economy. During Meta's second quarter earnings call on Wednesday, Zuckerberg explained that as AI finds additional content that people find interesting, that increases engagement and the quality of our feeds. He said Meta will use AI to recommend all the content people publicly share on its services, such as links or photos. So if you see, somebody's photos that you don't know who they are, and it's just like, oh, it's just a group of friends, like hanging out, and you're like, well, why is this on my Instagram feed? Well, now you know why. In that sense, I think what we're doing is going to be pretty unique, he said, alluding to TikTok's singular focus on short videos. I don't think people are going to want to be constrained to one format. Facebook's last big shift in how it recommends content was in 2008, when Zuckerberg announced a strategy focused on encouraging meaningful social interactions between friends in the newsfeed. When it was introduced, Zuckerberg predicted that it would lead to a decrease in time spent on the social network, but leave users feeling better. The research shows that when we use social media to connect with people we care about, it can be good for our well-being, he said at the time. On the other hand, passively reading articles or watching videos, even if they're entertaining or informative, may not be as good. Now that Meta's business is slowing and Facebook user base is aging, Zuckerberg appears to be throwing out the past 4 years of how the feed was architected. On Wednesday, he said that people were shifting away from sharing in feeds altogether and instead communicating over private messages. On social, one social trend that we're seeing is that instead of people just interacting in comment feeds, most people find interesting content in their feeds and then message that content to friends and interact there. So that's his logic, kind of to change the algorithm so that it presents the user with more discovery content. In my opinion, he has enough money to just create a new company that meets those needs or competes more closely with TikTok, and leave Facebook for what it is. I think Facebook and Instagram have their position in the market that nobody can take, and they're just very useful social tools, just like Twitter has its own place in the social media ecosystem. So I don't find it necessary for Facebook to change its algorithm. It seems a little bit backwards. If you want to compete against TikTok, you just create a new product similar to Instagram or similar to Facebook that can compete with TikTok. I assume that would mean starting from scratch, starting, the user base from scratch. But I assume that Mark Zuckerberg doesn't want to start from scratch. He says, I already have all these people on Facebook. Why not just have Facebook adapt to the people? And while it's an interesting take, I think that it's just better to test your ideas in controlled environments, controlled tests, so that you don't ruin what you already have. He might be under some pressure because, as we might read, I think, on this next article, the profits from Facebook have fallen for the first time in I don't know how many years. But actually, this is a good time to shift over here and read this following article just about that. So it says, Facebook is making radical changes to keep up with TikTok. Open Facebook or Instagram and you're going to see changes. Social apps that have been primarily defined by the friends and family you choose to connect with are being revamped to feature more posts, especially video, from influencers, celebrities, and random strangers that go viral. If that sounds familiar, it's no accident. Facebook is racing to keep up with TikTok, the widely popular upstart redefining how social media works. Everyone's eyes are glued to TikTok and the way it works right now, said Michael Seaman, software engineer who has worked at Facebook, Google, and Twitter on efforts to win over teenagers. The short video app owned by China's ByteDance has surged to 1 billion users. Damn, that's billion with a B. In just a few short years, minting dance trends and absurd challenges and fueling mega viral music hits like Lil Nas X Old Town Road. I did hear about Lil Nas X. I wish I could just do videos about all the things that I find interesting, because there's a lot of things that we can learn from African American entrepreneurs that just hustle the algorithm. Lil Nas X hustled the algorithm of TikTok. If you hear his interviews, all he talks about is, oh yeah, I was just trying to figure out how to go viral. I was just trying to figure that out, and then everything else fell into place. Soulja Boy was another hip hop artist who just made the algorithm his bitch. Basically, I wish I could go in depth, but I think I should just keep reading this. All of those are interesting subjects and definitely true. And the revivals of Fleetwood Mac's Dreams and Kate Bush's Running Up That Hill. Facebook is still by far the world's biggest social network, with almost 3 billion people logging in every month. That's half of the world, and even more when you add in Instagram, also owned by Facebook parent Meta. But under pressure from TikTok's success, the company that has been connecting people to their college classmates, friends, family, and others with shared interests for almost 2 decades, is attempting to pivot to a new era of social media where artificial intelligence driven algorithms are increasingly shaping what users see. Meta CEO Mark Zuckerberg described it as a major shift from a feed of posts determined by who you follow to one curated by new AI technology that he calls a discovery engine. Oh, here we go. Discovery engine. Meta's quarterly earnings are likely to reveal a financial squeeze. Facebook parent Meta is facing existential threats. So this is where probably most of the decisions are coming from. When they're faced with existential threats, of course they're going to try to fix that, and I just think they're taking the wrong route for sure. Its flagship social network lost daily users for the first time ever late last year. Its audience is aging. Younger people who used to flock to Instagram are now on TikTok. Sales growth is slowing and profits have dropped. I believe a little bit of that has to do with another article that I'm going to read, which is just something that happened to us recently. Yeah, we were hacked. We were hacked, and it's very traumatizing, to be sincere, because you might think it's just money, but I mean the fear is still in me that these people have access to things that I may never know that they have access to. So I'm going to read an article about that, and I believe that some of their sales growth slowing down is because of their just negligence. It feels like their attention to customer service is just abominable. It's not anywhere near what it should be, and part of that is shows by how many vulnerabilities their ads accounts or their business suite has. All right. Continuing, it says Meta plans to give its latest financial report on Wednesday. It's expected to show just how much competition, as well as global economic woes and the ongoing overhang of Apple's privacy changes, are squeezing its ad business. Zuckerberg has warned about the rise of TikTok for years. He explicitly acknowledged that the threat it imposes in a call with investors in February, noting that people have a lot of choices for how they want to spend their time, and apps like TikTok are growing very quickly. 2 years ago, Facebook introduced TikTok-like short videos called Reels and has been pushing them heavily into users' feeds. In April, Zuckerberg said Reels accounted for a fifth of the time people spent on Instagram. Many users have noted that the Reels they see are often reposted TikTok videos. Wow. Well, I mean, the content has to start from somewhere, And the easiest thing to do. Why is this cloud all up in my cheek? The easiest thing to do is to use any content that you already have and post it, repost it. It's the easiest. It's kind of lazy, but some people do it. It's profitable, I guess. 2 years ago, Facebook. We already read that. Now the company is going even further, overhauling the Facebook app to look and work more like TikTok's main For You page, which allows whatever the app's algorithm thinks you might like, no matter who made it. Software engineer Simon says the company has little choice but to emulate what he calls TikTok's massive talent show. TikTok comes along and it's like, who cares who you follow, he said. So basically, this part of the article is talking about how TikTok recommends creators that maybe nobody knows about, and its algorithm has been working for years on fine-tuning the way that it recommends those videos so that people don't feel any negative feeling like like who is this person or anything like that. They do it in a tasteful way, and Meta is trying to keep up with that. I think they should just release a new product to rival TikTok. It could be you know, it could be a straight up copy, like a straight up copy. How many times have I seen websites that just straight up copy another website, another e-commerce, for example, and they get just as many sales, or you know, at least they're taking part of those sales and carving their piece of the market, carving out their piece. So, and we saw that actually in an article. I think it might have been our first episode where we talked about two college students who rivaled Coca-Cola in Germany, and yeah, I mean they're now bigger than Coca-Cola in Germany. They have more sales than Coca-Cola in Germany. So I like the way that TikTok just introduces you to new things. I think that's their niche. I don't, you know, I think Facebook and Instagram have their own niche that they have to fill, and they don't have to try to be like TikTok. Which brings us to our next point over here. Kylie Jenner and Kim Kardashian speak out about this. Changes spark complaints from celebrity users. Already, Instagram's transformation is sparking backlash. This week, celebrities Kim Kardashian and Kylie Jenner, who both have huge Instagram followings, reposted a meme on the app demanding, "Make Instagram Instagram again. Stop trying to be TikTok," plainly put. 1 second. Grab some water. Always drink water, guys. Oh, make sure you hydrate. Facebook says posts from friends and family are still going to be prominently featured in its apps. In a new video responding to users' concerns on Tuesday, Instagram head Adam Mosseri, let's watch this. This guy's insane. I'm so happy that I switched to a new browser so that way we can actually play the videos that are on Twitter. But this guy is great. We're going to have some laughs. Said the company isn't getting rid of what people love, but we're also going to need to evolve because the world is changing quickly and we're going to have to change along with it, he said. And, you know, as a disclosure, I think, you know, I may be wrong about all of this, but from my point of view at this current point in time, this is just cynical. There are a lot of things happening on Instagram right now. I wanted to address a few things we're working on to make Instagram a better experience. Please let me know what you think. So we're going to watch this video. This will be my first audio test. Let's check it out.
There's a lot going on Instagram right now. We're experimenting with a number of different changes to the app. And so we're hearing a lot of concerns from all of you. So I wanted to take a few moments and clarify a few things. One is, if you're seeing a new full screen version of the feed, or you're hearing about it, know that that is a test. It's a test to a few percentage of people out there, and the idea is that a more full screen experience, not only for videos but for photos, might be a more fun and engaging experience. But I also want to be clear, it's not yet good, and we're going to have to get into a good place if we're going to ship it to the rest of the Instagram community. The second thing I'm hearing a lot of concerns about right now are photos and how we're shifting to video. Now, I want to be clear, we're going to continue to support photos. It's part of our heritage.
It's like all I hear is, so yeah, we're going to try to copy TikTok. And let's see if it works. And we're just testing to see if we can turn into TikTok. Let's try it out. We already have 3 billion users. I'm sure that we can get some of them to think that we are TikTok.
I love photos. I know a lot of you, but they love photos too. That said, I need to be honest. I do believe that more and more of Instagram is going to become video over time. We see this even if we change nothing. We see this even if you just look at chronological feed. If you look at what people share on Instagram, that's shifting more and more to videos over time. If you look at what people like and consume and view on Instagram, that's also shifting more and more to video over time, even when we stop changing anything. So we're going to have...
All right. You might be right about that. That doesn't change the fact that you don't have to turn Instagram into TikTok. You can just put out a new product.
To lean into that shift while continuing to support photos. The third thing I want to talk about is recommendations. Recommendations are posts in your feed from accounts that you do not follow. The idea is to help you discover new and interesting things on Instagram that you might not know even exist. Now, if you're seeing things in your feed that are recommendations that you're not interested in, that means that we're doing a bad job ranking, and we need to improve. You can X out a recommendation. You can even snooze all recommendations for up to a month, or go to your following feed. But we're going to continue to try and get better at recommendations.
I think those are sensible options. And even though I still think that this video is pretty cynical, he's messaging, and I always take a look at some of these things from like, what would I do if I had a choice to make? Not that I know anything that's going on behind the curtains at Facebook or Meta or Instagram, but I like to think that these are just people at the end of the day, and they're not much different than any of us. So their logic, we should be able to follow it. So if he is defending these changes and saying that people can simply opt out of these changes, I believe that's good messaging. He's actually trying to address the issue. He's not hiding from it. It seems sincere. And I do believe that they are doing something good. But you can just tell from the backlash that this is not going to work and they should desist.
Because we think it's one of the most effective and important ways to help creators reach more people. We want to do our best by creators, particularly small creators, and we see recommendations as one of the best ways to help them.
So here he's focusing on creators. I'm sorry I'm pausing this so much, but you can go ahead. I always put the links of the articles in the video, so feel free to check it out. He's talking about creators, and I think earlier in one of these articles we read about a creator economy, and this is actually very true. We are turning into a creator economy, and I think that creators are going to continue to be very valuable things, or very valuable in our society. So I understand why it started as social media. Facebook and Instagram are still considered this term. It's an old term now, but social media, it's not social media anymore so much as it is creator content media. These spaces like Facebook and Instagram are increasingly places where people can make money, and that is forcing these type of changes. There's a lot of chaos because of these ideas are not haven't been discussed. Things are changing so rapidly in the digital realm that this is all testing. Every single thing that is happening right now, from TikTok to everything, it's all testing, it's all new. So things are escalating rapidly, but the economy is shifting towards content creation and things like that. So I understand why he's doing it.
Reach a new audience and grow their following. Now, this is a lot of change all at once, but know that a number of things about Instagram are going to stay the same. We're going to stay committed to creators more broadly. We're going to stay committed to supporting photos. We're going to stay in a place where we try and put your...
But Instagram wasn't for creators. It was a place to basically just put photos of your friends. So this thing that he's mentioning is actually kind of like saying the quiet part out loud.
Friends content at the top of feed and the front of stories whenever possible. But we're also going to need to evolve because the world is changing quickly, and we're going to have to change along with it. So please, let me know what you think down in the comments, and know that I'm going to continue to be here explaining our changes as we come up with them, the reasoning behind them, and give you the latest updates about what's going on Instagram. I'll see you soon. Peace.
Peace. All right, so that's the video. I think that all of their intentions are really good, in the sense that they are trying to promote, smaller creators. I don't think they wanted to do that originally. So I'm not saying, oh, Facebook are the good guys or Facebook have like only good intentions. They're out for money, of course, as we all are, because money is important in our society. But they're being forced to take the decision to support more smaller channels and smaller creators. TikTok is forcing their hand on that. I think I've noticed a lot of that on YouTube as well. So I can't wait for the day that I get to read the news about how YouTube is now, recommending a lot more channels that are practically unknown, and even people that are getting just their first video out, and that video is getting 300 impressions on their first day. It's good. That's a good amount of impressions. So I'm looking forward to that. I really think it's going to happen because there's just a lot more people creating, and there's a lot more fatigue of what people are watching. Like I spend a lot of time online, and sometimes I'm like, you know what, I don't want to, like, I like all of these topics, but I really want to hear from somebody else's point of view, because I think that whatever creator I'm watching at the moment, they're stuck in an echo chamber, and they never see the other side of things. So every once in a while, I like to look at opposing opinions and things like that. So I'm really, really happy that they're seeing that this is the way to go. I'm just completely against the way they're going about it. Zuckerberg has been clear about his goal. He wants to squeeze as much money as he can from his company's existing apps so he can build whatever he sees as the next big platform, the metaverse, where he hopes people will interact in virtual reality. At first, I totally scoffed at metaverse. It was silly. Everybody laughed at it. I think I wasn't the only one. But I mean, again, it's now a market. So all it takes is, and by the way, they're losing a lot of money. I think Mark Zuckerberg said, yeah, we can actually be in reds for the next 5 years. Imagine an entrepreneur saying that, yeah, I'm just gonna have my company just take losses for the next 5 years. Everything's probably gonna be fine. Yeah, well, Mark Zuckerberg can do that. And making money means getting more people to spend more time on Facebook and Instagram so they can sell more ads. It's all about the ads. But not everyone is convinced this pivot will work. TikTok's got one fundamental thing that Facebook doesn't have, said Matt Navarra, a social media consultant and analyst. TikTok is cool. And it's very hard to recreate cool, which is why I keep mentioning that Meta needs to come out with a new product to rival TikTok and not try to make their current products, conform to those standards. I think I read both of these. So now I'm going to talk about Facebook hack very quickly. I think I already mentioned a lot of it, so I don't want to go through that again. I just want to kind of give you an overview and just tell people to watch out for this. My main message for this part is just if you are advertising on Facebook, go in, check your ads right now, because there are people hijacking your accounts, and Facebook doesn't do really anything about it. They helped us recover the accounts and things like that. But I mean, the ad spent has been spent. This article, I'm not sure if I should read all of it or maybe just the first part. I'll just read. It says, I received an email from PayPal informing me that Facebook had taken a payment for the sum of around £22. This was late on Friday afternoon. They'd go through more. Most shockingly, there was an advert running that I did not recognize and that I certainly had not created. Hideously, it was set up to spend up to £1,200 per day and had already breezed through just over £168. I nearly died. My Facebook ads account has been hacked. My first priority was to deactivate the ad so that it didn't continue to burn through the budget. In our case, we were not able to kick the hackers out. Like, they were there making changes for several hours as we watched them try to gain access to more and more of our accounts. It was super freaking scary, and yeah, I don't know if I have mentally recovered from that yet, but it's it's scary. Please check out your Facebook ads. Make sure that your ads aren't being spent on silly things. Make sure that there's no weird activity happening on your Facebook ads accounts, so that you don't get these types of troubles. Make sure that you have two-step authentication, that you all of your passwords are as complicated as possible, and that you don't have the same password for everything. Have one password for each thing, and don't repeat your passwords through any properties, and just be safe. Try not to get hacked. They go on to mention that they try to do a lot of things. I think you can report the fraud to your credit card company, but that's about it. They might be able to reverse any charges that have been made, but definitely check that out. All right, so I want to finish with the Etsy report. This report is actually coming from Etsy, so if you are selling on Etsy, which I think hundreds of thousands of people are selling on Etsy, then you will be happy about this article. Again, news provided by Etsy, so take it with a grain of salt. This is coming straight from the horse's mouth, so let's check it out. Etsy Inc., which operates two-sided online markets that connect millions of passionate and creative buyers and sellers around the world, today announced results for its second quarter ended June 30, 2022. Second quarter 2022 performance highlights include consolidated. Why did it say Etsy Inc., which operates? Why don't they just say us? I'm weirded out that this is in third person. Like, oh yeah, they the Etsys, but they are Etsy. I don't know. I don't understand a lot of this, so I'm just going to go to the quotes, which are the parts that I do understand. So it says, our second quarter results once again reflected that Etsy has maintained most of our pandemic gains and that we are able to deliver strong bottom line performance while simultaneously investing in key initiatives, said Josh Silverman, Etsy Inc. Chief Executive Officer. Despite facing headwinds caused by macroeconomic and geopolitical factors, we believe the improvements we've driven in customer experiences across the Etsy marketplace and our house of brands, coupled with continued focus on our right to win strategy, will enable us to unlock the enormous long-term opportunities we see ahead. Drink water, guys. Then they have some financial results, which I don't know how to read at the time, to be sincere, but let's go to the second part. It says second quarter revenue grew over 10% despite there was something here that is actually interesting. I don't know how these are like, it doesn't mention if it's millions or thousands, but it says active sellers. It could be millions, I guess. 7,400,000 active buyers, 93 million. So there are more buyers than sellers apparently. That is healthy. That is really healthy. Second quarter's revenue grew over 10% despite strong macroeconomic headwinds and challenging year-over-year comparables, said Rachel Glazer, Etsy Inc. Chief Executive Financial Officer. This growth is attributable to the Etsy marketplace transaction fee increase, the addition of Depop and Elo7 to our house of branding portfolio. I have no idea what it is. I'll look it up and probably report in the following video. And the strength of our Etsy Ads product, which continues to be a great solution for sellers looking to grow their business. We are pleased that Etsy's highly valuable cost structure helped drive strong second quarter adjustments EBITDA margin of 28% and operating cash flow. Oh, I know what this is. Operating cash flow of 125.8 million. That's just exactly what it sounds. Cash for operations, 125.8 million. So I consider that very good. Second quarter 2022 operating highlights. Second highlights of the second quarter business initiatives for Etsy Marketplace are outlined below. This is No, yeah, actually, this is important. We continued our journey towards best-in-class search, delivering more relevant results for making finding the right thing easier on Etsy. So they're working on their algorithm, it seems. Advancements in ranking delivered real-time personalized results, tailoring search results to what you may have looked at within the same session. We continue to improve our deep learning models, resulting in better understanding of language and cultural nuances, raising relevance while also decreasing dead-end search results by approximately 30% since the beginning of the year. Finally, we launched the first version of localized XWalk to all non-US market during quarter. I am so interested in what all of these terms mean. What is Depop and ELO 7? What is XWalk? I will have to dig more. Our visual discovery work streams progressed during the quarter. First, we introduced video functionality for buyer reviews. What? People can leave a video review on Etsy? If I was Soulja Boy right now, I would go and try to take advantage of that algorithm and try to go viral for being the first person to, I don't know, put a dance reviews, or who the hell knows. Second, we tested a 2-day live Etsy Market shopping event in our app. Sellers reported a positive experience with the event and especially loved how they could connect with buyers in a new and more personal way. This is crazy. Now I'm really interested. I didn't know much about Etsy coming into this article, but now I just want to know more. We improved our ranking capabilities for Etsy ads by continuing to close the semantic gap and leveraging new machine learning techniques to capture intrinsic styles and properties, providing more relevant ad inventory without compromising conversion rate. Bunch of jargon that just means that they're improving their algorithm. We also expanded Etsy ads inventory to the homepage while maintaining listing relevance consistent with organic results. Sellers continued to see the value in our Etsy ads programs as a sales driver in a challenging environment, while sellers budget up to 80% year to date. As part of our focus on driving buyer engagement and frequency during the second quarter, we prompted signed out browsers to download the Etsy app, leading to a 53% increase in downloads versus the year ago period. Wow. We prompted signed out browsers to download the Etsy app. What are signed out browsers? And how can you target somebody that is signed out to download the Etsy app? Incredible. We are also redesigned our homepage to show recommended listings based on recently viewed items and app icons notifications, both of which drove frequency. I think Facebook is going to try to be, Etsy is going to try to be like Facebook and TikTok and just show a lot of content that, just recommended content. We announced a new Etsy purchase protection program, which goes into effect August 1st. This program will protect sellers and buyers on qualifying orders up to $250 when the item does not match the description, arrives damaged, or never arrives. Etsy expects to invest approximately $25 million annually to cover refunds at no additional cost to sellers. Dangerous, absolutely dangerous decision over here by Etsy. I don't How do they choose? Will this fund need to be increased in the future? Um, I don't know. I don't think this information, this part, is anything good, because I think that publishing this type of information will just make scammers want to do more scams, because it's like the people are insured. So it's not like they're hurting anybody. I don't know. I don't think this is a good thing. In our international markets, we substantially improved delivery transparency. In the second quarter, over 90% of non-US listings included expected delivery date, and over 80% included origin postal code information. Key signals for building buyers' trust. Okay, that makes sense. We also added the Indian rupee to the Etsy payment platform, providing a more localized checkout experience for buyers in India. Okay, so they're optimizing some things for India. This leads me to believe that they understand that India has billions of people, and it's a market that speaks English, highly profitable, and not a lot of people are tapping into it for probably some legitimate reasons. There's a lot of scams that are going out from India, and a lot of people just tend to stay away from the area as a general fear, maybe. But I commend Etsy for actually catering to India. We launched Buy Now, Pay Later in Austria, Canada, Denmark, Finland, the Netherlands, Norway, Sweden, and Switzerland, bringing coverage to 13 countries. Buy Now, Pay Later. So credit. So they are now a credit company. Very smart. We continue to focus on seller performance and invest in their growth, including adjusting the star seller rating criteria to make the badge more achievable for those sellers who provide excellent customer service. That's kind of like what eBay used to do. Based on extensive research, we fully launched our new Sell on Etsy app to all sellers, including new features such as the ability to easily check order statuses, notifications about repeat customers, adding photos and listing videos, purchasing and printing shipping labels, and inventory management. Wow! That is totally amazing, because those are all of the things that I actually had trouble with when starting I sold some things when eBay was popular back in the day. And those are all some of the things that I actually struggled with. Like, yeah, I have this product, but how do I actually ship it? How do I actually print a label on it? How do I know how much to charge for shipping and all of that? So I'm glad that Etsy is actually making that easier. We expanded enforcement of our homemade policy to continue to protect the integrity of our marketplace. And in April, we began proactively reviewing listings for potential handmade violations. In fact, in the second quarter, where was it? In the second quarter, we removed approximately 50% more listings than in all of 2021. Etsy also published our 2021 transparency report, which reviews policy enforcement activities for the year and can be found on the investor relations website. So they are committing, or they're staying committed to their mission, which is to promote handmade products. I need more water. Drink water. Marketing. We continue to optimize spending across our marketing channels, focusing on driving top of mid awareness and new buyer acquisition, and increasing retention and purchase frequency of existing buyers. Here are some highlights for the quarter. Our performance marketing investments, which dynamically adjust upon demand, benefited from higher buyer lifetime value, LTV, from the transaction fee, increased and continued improvements to our models and data feeds. So this is just marketing data, super interesting to me because that's my job, digital marketing, but I'm not sure that it will be super interesting to the people listening, so I'm going to skip this part. Impact pillars. We continue to make progress on our impact strategy to reflect the positive impact we want to have on the world while advancing and complementing our business strategy. Second quarter highlights include our Uplift Fund reached an important milestone during the quarter of over 10 million total donations since the start of the program in early 2021. Again, how many programs and things is Etsy coming up with? Just one more thing that I have to research, Uplift Fund. The Uplift Fund allows United States buyers to, or maybe not, to round up their order total to the nearest dollar and donate the difference to nonprofits that work to dismantle barriers to create entrepreneurship. Oh, that is so cool. I'm a fan of Etsy now, I think. Etsy expanded its Uplift Makers program designed to open doors and create financial opportunities for artisans, communities facing economic hardships with the launch of the Afghan Refugees Collective. This program helps Afghan refugees, artisans to open individual shops on Etsy and get started on the road to creative entrepreneurship. Etsy signed a memorandum of understanding with the Northern Eastern Handicrafts and Handloom Development Corporation, or the NET, to support smaller sellers, weavers, and artisans from the northeast of India. Here are a few operational highlights from our subsidiary marketplaces. Reverb helped buyers find their perfect instrument with updates to on-site algorithms, local enhancements, and improved domestic discoveries in the United Kingdom. I think, again, this is getting to the numbers and things like that. I'm more interested in what they have to say about how the company is improving their customer service than actually, what they're spending their money on marketing and things like that. So I'll just go on to the next part. Let's see, this looks interesting. We see multiple scenarios possible for the remainder of 2022, but all still point to the very healthy, profitable to be, let me read that again, but all still point to very healthy profitability throughout 2022. We'll keep focusing on the things we can control, driving great customer experiences, investing with discipline and care, and helping our team minimize distractions to focus on getting the job done. It's not an easy time for the world, but we take heart that we come to work every day to drive value for our sellers and give buyers experiences they can't find anywhere else. Webcast and conference call information, not interested about that, about Etsy, investor relation contacts, cautionary statement regarding forward-looking statements. So this is just warning us about what they said. Probably not important. Yeah, I mean, they're just warnings. It's not like important things. Currency, I think that's about it. So if you have listened to this whole video, thank you. If you find any of this video or any of the videos that are in the channel, I now know that this content is going up on YouTube and only YouTube. I'm going to try to make native content for each one of the platforms that I will be using, like Twitter and things like that. So this video is 100% and completely going up on YouTube. So do subscribe and let me know if there are other things that you would like me to talk about. I'm happy to take into consideration anything that the audience deems important. So that's it for me. Thank you so much for your time and your attention. I hope to see you on the next video. Bye-bye.